lot. I think I think I'll go with Mike Perry, man. This guy is crazy, man.
Yeah,
For sure he's gonna go until to that in bar fight, not maybe like in a tag team MMA fight, but in bar fight, I'll have Mike Perry for me. I'll say I'll feel safe for sure.
that's fair enough. That actually is quite a good choice. Um, all the fights that you did, who would you say gave like the hardest punch? Like, say you were like, and you got hit, and they like woke you up. Like, who was the hardest
Um,
fighter?
that was 100% Drew McFeathery's. It's funny because he gave me that uppercut. I will always remember that. And when I opened my eyes, I was still in the fight. I was, wow, okay, I have a really really good chin. Thanks, thanks to my chin. But maybe 10 seconds later, I was knocking him out in the first round. So that was kind of it's kind of weird to say that that's the guy who hit me the hardest in my life because I knocked him out maybe 10 seconds after, but I do remember that uppercut. I saw that coming. I was it's coming, and that was right on target, right on the button. But I had a good chin in my career, and that saved me a couple of times during the exchange. And that time, it's that was the hardest punch I did receive in my career.
Wow, this interview with Patrick Cote is going great. However, we do need to take a commercial break. So when we come back, we'll have the rest of the interview.
Hello, I'm Sean McNall, owner of TG Marketing. We are a promotional product company located in Regina, Saskatchewan. Originally founded by Tom G. McNall in 1985, we are now in our 35th year of business. My brother Ryan and I, along with our great staff, have carried the torch since Tom retired in 2011. For those of you who don't know what we do, we sell items with a company's logo on it, like clothing, pens, phone chargers, Bluetooth speakers. The list of products available is endless. Our products are a great form of advertising. Whether you want to give a gift to a valued client or show your appreciation to your staff, we have a friendly team that can help find the right product for your needs. The key to our success has been our customer service and our vast knowledge of products in our industry. We ask the right questions to get you in line with the proper product for the project you are working on. Stop by 1046 Winnipeg Street and view our showroom. Get some ideas for that next promotion you're working on. Let's make your business what everyone's talking about.
I know you were in the video game for UFC 2010 for Undisputed. Was it ever in your career, did you ever think that you were going to be in a video game? Was that ever on your bucket list?
What do you mean?
Like oh, when you were like little, like oh, I want to play myself as as a character in a like as a fighter.
Oh,
Yeah, and that's stuff like
no, not at all. And actually, I mean, I'm in the two video games, and it's like the first one was okay, but the second one, we flew to LA to put the suit with like some balls and doing our stuff. And when I took my character, I was like, it was shocking. I was like, oh, somebody's watching me. That's me. That's myself. That
yeah,
he's doing exactly what I'm doing. There was a same tattoo. I had a birthmark on my right arm. That was there too. So that was very very real. And I always say that I can die now. I'm in the video game. Before I was building my character to more air, more hair, more eyes, a little bit closer. I don't have to do that anymore. I'm just going to pick myself. So that's
yeah,
pretty cool.
that was pretty cool. Um, Say for make the great fighter, they need to be like good striking, good wrestling, and good jiu-jitsu. If you got to create like your ultimate fighter, for example, I would say just be wrestling, striking, Masvidal, and jiu-jitsu, Royce Gracie. What would be your ultimate fighter if you had like those kind of qualities?
Uh, I'll take the jiu-jitsu of Charles Oliveira because it's because I don't think he has the best jiu-jitsu. I think he has the more aggressive jiu-jitsu. And that's what we like. You know, on the ground, he always go for the kill. He always go for the submission. That's why it's so exciting. I'll take the wrestling of. It's hard, man. There's so many good wrestlers, but I'll take the wrestling of George or Nurmagomedov because it's a different wrestling. It's Russian style. It's technical wrestling, and it's not American wrestling. American wrestling, it's muscle wrestling. It's double leg doesn't work. I'll go double leg doesn't work. Let's try a double leg. So it's always the same thing. It's always the same thing. It's muscle wrestling. You take Nurmagomedov or you take George. They did train with different aspect, different mentality, more technical. Single leg chest pressure doesn't work. Now you go with double leg. There's so many more options in their wrestling games. So that's why I think it's I'll go with there, and I'll take the stand up of Anderson Silva, but when he was on top, when he was like in 2000, 2008, 2007, 2008, 2009, when he was on top of that, that was just unreal.
Okay, I'd like to thank my guest, Patrick Cote, for a great interview. Now it's time for the Rod Pedersen Show. So this is your host, Alan the Intern, signing off.
Have you ever found, Jason, a analytic for heart and leadership?
I will say this. I think heart and leadership can be also overrated at times.
How about that?
I'll say this, though. Duncan Keith was a player who was an elite player and a major contributor on a cup contending team. You know, he played a nice role, but he wasn't a difference maker. He was just part of the team. And you need a lot of good players to win, but you definitely need a few great ones.
This is the Rod Pedersen Show.
Happy Wednesday, everybody, and welcome to the RP Show. Coming at you live out of the bunker here for episode number 527. And I can tell you what, we're going to have a lot of fun today. Guaranteed. We were just kicking some things around here before the mics went live. Moose DuPont's here. How you doing, Moose?
I'm good. I'm good.
Another day that you got the same memo as the white golf shirt.
Yeah, I checked my phone. I got the no notification.
Yesterday was Navy,
and today is white.
Bravo to our technical producer, Ryan Bracco. We call him Rocco. I think that we might have finally solved the earpiece dilemma. And he ordered this. How about that? He ordered this thing from Amazon, and on Monday he's like, "Can you please use it? Because I ordered it from Amazon, and they're expensive." Was that Amazon? Doesn't matter. We couldn't quite get it to work, and now here it is. You can't see it. It sounds a little hollow in my ear, but Bob's your uncle. Oh, wait. There's no looking back now.
No looking back. You're in. You're hooked. We got to do better. We got to tuck it back a little bit. The cord.
You can see it?
Yeah, you can see.
Some guys do. Those guys on the WDIV Detroit News, you can see it on there, right?
Yeah.
They're big time. We're big time here.
It's the first day. We'll get it.
Yeah. So thanks, Ryan. Great job. I appreciate you. And all the guys back here in the cage. So coming up on the... How about that? Okay, Rick, pipe down. Coming up today in the program, longtime buddy of mine, Sid Seixeiro, formerly one half of Tim and Sid, and now from Breakfast Television Toronto. You Canadians, you people watching in Canada would know who Sid Seixeiro is. The Americans won't, but you're going to meet him coming up in our second segment today. And John Forsland, the NHL and NBC. That's where you know that name from. Or the Carolina Hurricanes. He's now the television voice of the NHL Seattle Kraken. And with the expansion draft coming up July 21st, we'll preview that with John Forsland. Great guy. And by the way, Darren was saying, because if you go to my Twitter feed right now, I did a little tweet promoting the show, and I took a scene from Ballers on there. And obviously, Dwayne Johnson, The Rock, huge fan here. What's the other guy's name?
I just know him as Joe Crutel in the show.
Okay.
I'd have to look up. He's in a lot of shows.
Hot Tub Time Machine is the one that I remind him.
He's very good.
He said before we went to air, he's like, do you remember back in the day when we used to, at the start of every show, talk about pairs? I used to say at the start, 527 shows ago, I'm peanut butter, he's jelly. I'm Chip, he's Dale. I'm macaroni, he's cheese. Right? And we stopped that. I don't know. I guess we ran out of partnerships to talk about.
Did we stop that the same time we did the jersey numbers?
And that's the other thing. Yeah. So today is episode number 527 of Canada's Daytime Sports Talk Show. But we used to, as the numbers went along, say, what's your favorite number 3? Today's our third show. Who's your favorite number 3? So just for fun, just for spits and giggles, why don't you write in on Facebook or YouTube if you're watching there, and if you're watching on Game Plus Television, on national television across all 10 provinces and 31 states, write in on the Prairie Mobile text line, 306-840-8777. If anybody needs to make a call, I have a phone.
Good.
840-8777. Who's your favorite number 27? And I'll start. Ron Hextall.
Scott Niedermeyer.
Come on!
Yeah.
That didn't take long.
No.
How about Glenn Suter?
That's a good one.
How about that?
Yeah.
People, let us know, who's your favorite number 27? Producer Clark, do any come to mind? He's got to think about it. Sounds like he's busy.
Okay.
He's got stuff going on. Who's your favorite number 27? Because this is episode number 527 of the RP Show. Now, enough dilly-dallying. Can you please hit the quick 6 show topics, please? Director Jordan. Please and thank you. And I'm going to start with the Major League Baseball All-Star Game last night. We were considering a poll question today, and I was going to ask, did you watch it? Well, when I was talking to you on the phone last night, I said, what channel's the All-Star Game on? You're like, I don't know. So I'll put you down as a no.
You put me down as a no, but, you know, when I was hearing what Vladdy was doing, did I tune in then? And unbelievable that he was able to do have a record-setting night.
So I'll put you down as a yes then.
A half yes.
I tuned in. I can't remember what channel I found it on. Maybe it was Fox. Don't matter. And I enjoyed it. And actually, here's the Canadian press, American press story. Make it 8 wins in a row for the American League. Shohei Ohtani pitched a perfect inning. Vladdy Guerrero Jr. and Mike Zunino both went deep. And the AL All-Stars beat the National League 5-2 at Coors Field. The AL has won 20 of the last 23 All-Star games with one tie thrown in. By the way, you probably all know that but Vladdy's performance last night made him the youngest All-Star MVP in history. That hot boy's home run last night, 468 feet. Woo. The longest in MLB All-Star Game history, by the way. And his dad homered off Brad Penny, if you remember, in 2006, making him just the third father-son duo to go deep in All-Star Game history. So we're pretty happy. Like I say, Vladdy. I'm going to call him Hot Boy from now on because that's what he is.
I like it.
And after the game, of course, he needed a translator to do the interviews. Are we going there? I'm not sure that it really matters. I don't. Let's move on. Point 2 of the Quick 6 show topics. Major League Baseball Commissioner Rob Manfred saying yesterday, prior to the game, that they're going to ditch the 7-inning doubleheaders moving forward past this season and also putting a runner on second base to start in the 10th inning.
Okay.
Was it that bad? Can you people tell me, was it that bad? Was it because of the backlash from traditionalists? Was this a CFL, XFL scenario? No, don't mess with what we've had for 100-plus years. Is that what it was? Because, frankly, I liked it. More no-hitters, of course.
Yeah.
We had that debate earlier. Games were ending. How many 16, 17, 18-inning games have we had this year? Oh, yeah. But, no, let's go back to the way it's always been. I'm not in favor of them ditching this. Are you?
No. And the runner on second and extra innings, I was a fan of. I thought that was, added some intrigue and added some excitement. Let's get it moving. That's one of the biggest issues with baseball is that the games are too long. And you've seen football go this way. Hockey's gone this way. The sweet spot seems to be 2.5 hours. If you can get your game done in under 2.5 hours, you're going to have the attention of the fan base. And what do we talk about? And you talk about leave them wanting more. Right?
Yeah.
You got to leave the ballpark thinking man, I wish that game went on for 4 hours because then you'll come back. But when a game does go 4 hours, you're like, is this thing over yet? I've been there, falling asleep in the outfield because it starts getting cool.
Yeah.
I mean, it's tough. So These were things put in place to help keep the game shorter, and I don't know if they'll have another answer.
I'll give them credit for trying something new, for sure, but I'm upset that they're not sticking with it. Anyways, we're asking what's your favorite number 27, because this is episode number 527 of Canada's daytime sports talk show, and I see Rick Hagelin writes in, he says, Frank Mahovlich and Daryl Sittler. Leaf fan. Am I right? Steve Newmadall says, Vladdy Sr. wore number 27 for the Expos. How about that? Former Titans great, Eddie George. Did he come to mind for you?
He did.
Number 27? Yeah, Vladdy Jr. is 27. Thank you, Producer Clark. Trent Bruner writing in. He says, Norway calling. Big salute to Vladdy Jr. for his all-star accomplishment. I believe the Bucks will win over Phoenix in the NBA tonight. And the colors look great on set. Daryl Sittler's my first, number 27. Have a good one. I guess they say you never forget your first, and I think my number 27 was a Hextall.
Yeah, okay.
I'm not joking. Anyways, moving on. Point 3, what's going on in the CFL? What are our expectations? You football fans in America, they write me like crazy, and I love it. So Cooper in Mississippi wrote me today, Cooper Campbell. He's a football guy from Mississippi. And I guess it was on this day, however many years ago, he tagged me on Facebook and he goes, why did Duron Carter flatten Rick Campbell in that game in Montreal? Remember that?
Yeah.
Well, Cooper, you should know better. He's watching right now in Mississippi. Duron Carter, a very close, dear personal friend of mine. We talked about that issue. Do you know why? And CFL fans, I would hope, remember the day. You do.
Yeah.
Duron Carter scored a touchdown. He's walking back to his bench, and the coach of Ottawa was off the sideline, and Duron mowed him over. I don't really remember what happened in that game, if he was kicked out. I think he ended up getting suspended or fined. If you want to know the question, Cooper Campbell, why this happened years ago and why Duron Carter flattened Rick Campbell, he was in the way. I can argue anything. Maybe we should debate this a little later on in the face-off. Don't blame Duron Carter. He's a victim in this. What football stadium on the planet has the teams on the same side of the field? Oh, wait, Montreal, Ottawa, and where else? Toronto. You don't see that in America. Don't blame Duron Carter. Rick Campbell was in the way. He saw Duron Carter coming from the end zone. He should have got out of the way. Have you realized that if you're on my team, you're on my team?
That's right. We've learned that.
Yeah, so Cooper, that's what I have to say about that. That's why it happened. And that was on this day, however many years ago. Do you people want to tell me what year that was? Jeff, the Stamps fan, says, does the Major League Baseball All-Star Game still decide home field for the World Series? It absolutely does. Sean's watching on YouTube and says his favorite number 27 is Shane Corson. I met him in a Hooters in downtown Toronto one time.
Oh, you did?
Great experience.
Cool.
Phenomenal guy. Moving on, point 4, NHL protected lists. I was just giddy this morning watching TSN Sports Center when Craig Button had his projected Ottawa protected list. Did you see that?
I did.
I mean, clearly these are written in pencil. Dreger said it here yesterday, but at least it's something.
Yeah.
At least they're putting something out there. And I don't know. I looked at that Ottawa protected list and kind of went, yee.
Well, he said, at the end of it, Button said, or they could decide to take a free agent, which is basically saying, we'll pass. And I thought that was hilarious.
I didn't see the end of it.
He said that at the end.
Yeah.
And the one guy that they came around on a little bit was Matt Murray. And we've seen people ask, whether it's on this show or whatever, who is going to be the Seattle Kraken's version of Marc-Andre Fleury? The goaltender who could be the face of the franchise and say that. It could be Matt Murray. It could be. But if you take on his salary over in Seattle and he's not Matt Murray the Penguins had, then it's a big mistake. So it's a huge risk, but Matt Murray could be the guy.
On that topic, by the way, our poll question today, well, somewhat, when I say on that topic, it's hockey. We all put our heads together here, came up with a few questions that none of us could agree on, and we all agreed on this one. Who's the most coveted NHL free agent? This month, your options in alphabetical order. Ryan Getzlaf, Taylor Hall, Dougie Hamilton, Alex Ovechkin. Leading on Twitter is Dougie Hamilton. Who is leading on Facebook, Moose?
Ovechkin.
Ovi.
Landslide.
See, that's, I guess, the difference in the age of the people that are on Facebook versus Twitter. Dougie Hamilton was playing for Team Canada when I did the World Juniors on Sportsnet Radio. That was a lot of fun.
Okay.
So there's that. Yep. Now, regarding the Duron Carter thing, where did this comment go? Can you put it up from Jeff the Stamps fan? For some reason, I'm having a problem finding the comments here. He just snapped. He's like, oh, please, Rod. There was no excuse for what Carter did. Carter went out of his way. What does it say?
To do that.
To do that. Come on, man. I see that there's a lot of people that are chiming in on that. Saying it again for those that have a retention problem with information. And I'm not starting on this today, Jeff. We've been on the air 13 days. If you want to sit and argue with everything that I say, I suggest you leave. I would appreciate it if you left. I don't need this from you. There's more on this. Somebody said, Stephen Numedall watching, he says, nope. Campbell went out of his way to get in Duron's path, and he sold it like Neymar. Yep, that's how I feel. So if you don't agree, there's the door. Not doing this with you today, Jeff. Not at all. Moving on to point 5. Dion Lacey removed from Saskatchewan Rough Rider training camp yesterday. So here's my deal. My phone rings yesterday afternoon, and it's a coach from another team in the CFL. And he's like, hey, what happened with Dion Lacey? I'm like, no idea. What? Well, they removed him from the field. The trainers walked right on the field and took him off the field. I said, this is the first that I've heard of this. I said, my head is nowhere near that. And then I did a Twitter search, and I guess that's all that we saw from the reporters. I told you that, right? Yeah. Dion Lacey was removed from the field. I don't know anything. The practices are closed. We're not there, and I wouldn't be there anyways. And I think it's important that everybody realizes, Darren and I were talking about this beforehand, I'm not the rider guy anymore. It's 527 shows of this. I'm not the rider guy anymore. I don't want to be. They don't want me to be. I said yesterday, I forgot that Micah Johnson signed with the Saskatchewan Roughriders. I couldn't remember who the other guy was in that core 4. You had to look up Nick Marshall.
That's right.
Like, my head's not in that. It's in all these other things. I'm following it, but I can't tell you. I don't know what's going on a day-to-day basis. I just think it's important to get that out there. And I said to Darren over the past couple of days, why is this intense glare coming on us? Like, why aren't you reporting on the Riders? Why aren't you doing this? That's not me anymore. Don't want that to be anymore. I'm a fan of the league, and that's about it. But the ins and outs and the nuances and the backups on the offensive line, can I say that? Can I be honest with you? That's not me anymore. Don't call me for that information. Don't text me for that information because I'm not looking into that information. I've moved on. I need the Rider Nation to move on and realize that I'm not the guy for the information.
Yeah.
Fair?
It's fair. Absolutely.
Sorry to drop that bomb in your lap, but
look at, we've had this gradual shift, but we have people watching all across North America now.
Right. They don't care.
Not as much. And yeah, we'll go into, we'll bring on the people from Saskatchewan that can give us details on the camp. But we're also going to go to Toronto and BC, and we're going to go to the NHL, and we're going to go to all these other things. And now we can cover it all and talk about what everybody's interested in.
Appreciate that, Moose.
Appreciate you.
The warm-up is brought to you by Ecol Electric, your complete electrical distributor with locations in Regina, Estevan, Swift Current, Yorkton, and Moose Jaw, Saskatchewan. Ecol Electric. Let's get to work, and we will right after coffee. Sid Seixeiro is lined up and ready to go from Breakfast Television. Score Alum Unite. Right after this, you're watching the RP Show on the Game Plus Television Network, YouTube and Facebook Live, and 24-hour sports radio for Suds Full Service Car Wash at rodpedersen.com.
Head to youtube.com/The Rod Pedersen Show now. You gotta subscribe. Click the subscribe button for all the content you may have missed.
At Prairie Mobile, you can get the phone you want when you want. All smartphones are $0 every day. With convenient locations across Saskatchewan, Prairie Mobile, your SaskTel authorized dealer, has you covered. Visit us online at prairiemobile.com.
Some of the challenges we face with the CT technology that we have today is some of the deficiencies in around integration with some of our other systems. The addition of 2 new 4D simulators within the programming. The Saskatchewan Cancer Agency is going to have significant impact on the care we provide to the people of Saskatchewan.
Bronco Plumbing and Heating, proudly serving Regina and surrounding areas since 1978. We are excited to announce the new Bryant Furnace Trade-in Allowance Program. If you have a working Bryant furnace, 15 years old or less, you may be eligible to receive a new furnace at a discounted rate. If you'd like to take advantage of the Bryant Trade-in Program, or to hear how we can help improve your home, give us a call today at 306-781-2090.
Ultimate Fan Zone. Shop online, ultimatefanzone.ca. Slick, user-friendly. We built this site for the die-hard sports fans. Jerseys, hats, team apparel, offering officially licensed fan gear from the best lines in sports. Nike, New Era, Adidas, Fanatics. Game day ready to your door. Now, just a click away. ultimatefanzone.ca or check us out on Facebook and Instagram. UFZ Downtown Moose Jaw, home of everything authentic.
Universal Collision Center is Saskatchewan's premier auto body shop. Our extensive process ensures that every vehicle that comes through our state-of-the-art facilities is returned pre-accident condition, and that every UCC customer experience is an easy one. We're certified to repair all makes, all models, and all luxury brands, and Universal Auto Spa offers full-service detailing packages to suit you and your vehicle. Plus, we're the official body shop of your Saskatchewan Rough Riders. Universal Collision Center, 3910 Rochdale Boulevard and 2355 First Avenue in Regina.
Direct West has been the bridge for me from not dealing with social media or digital presence to having a presence. You have to take the leap of faith, so to say, and I'm glad we have. Direct West has helped us out immensely to get our presence online as far as digitally and also with the social media page. To see the results is just puts a smile on your face.
Hey, Rod Squad, now you can join the team with your very own RP Show gear. Head to rodpedersenshop.com and get yours today while supplies last. It's just like we wear on the show, official RP Show gear at rodpedersenshop.com.
Hey, honey, can you get one of the kids to show me how this Twitter thing works? Honey, I need to get on Instagram. Time for more of the Rod Pedersen Show.
Hey, welcome back to the RP Show, everybody. Just ahead of Sid Seixeiro, I got to say a couple things. One, it's show number 527 of the RP Show, Canada's daytime sports talk show. I'm asking, because it's 527, what's your favorite number 27? And the first one that came to mind for me was Ron Hextall. I also said Glenn Suter. Spiking Viking is watching from Winnipeg Lake, Manitoba. He says, the Spiking Viking checking in. Number 27, the swinging goalie stick, ankle breaking, Brandon, Manitoba's own Ronald Hextall. Pop it at number 27. And by the way, another Brandonite writing in and saying, happy Matt Dunnigan Day today. I said, come again? 713 yards today in 1994. And he says, oddly, the game was never broadcast. The only footage of it is stadium film. Happy Matt Dunnigan Day to all you people in Winnipeg and across Manitoba and Matt Dunnigan fans. Okay. Are we ready?
We're ready.
Let's get Sid Seixeiro on the screen. It's been far too long since I saw this guy. How you doing, Sydney?
What's going on, boys? What's the word? I'm looking for some free Rod Pedersen merch. Can you hook me up?
Absolutely. We'll ship it to your door. It'll be there faster than Amazon. Sid, I miss you.
Miss your brother. Moose, how you doing? How's everyone doing? How's Clark doing? I know
We're
Clark's
doing
not
good.
on the mic, but how's everyone doing?
We're doing good, Sid. Listen, no, I miss your opinions. I miss your takes. I mean, you were
You're
tweeting
the
up
only one.
No, I didn't always agree, but I always enjoyed them. Let's just start with a good one. Vladdy being the MVP, youngest ever in the All-Star game last night. What'd you think of how it all went down?
Oh, you meant it with the game last night. I thought he was hung up for the season. I think that Otani kid has got it wrapped. That was unbelievable. And for a guy who goes to bed at like 9:30, I appreciated the early home run. It was quite the show. My schedule's changed a bit. He is, like I was telling somebody earlier today, like I remember with Tim McAuliffe, we were on the set that for his first MLB batting practice the day he was going to play his first game. And it was nuts. I turned to Tim, I forget who I turned to. And I said, there is no way a living human being lives up to this hype. There is no way a kid with no ABs in Major League Baseball is going to live up to a crowd around the batting cage 5 deep. And you haven't played a game yet. You are a name. You've torn up the minors, you are a name. And he had those growing pains, and quite frankly, he came in that one year not in shape. Moved him to first base. And it was for the best. Because there were some questions for the first time in his life as a ball player. You know, this is a kid who had MLB Network go to him for an interview one day. They don't do that. Not for kids. Like they had Carlos Pena go to him for a batting tutorial. And I was saying how, like, the downs were worth it because he learned some things. He finally got in shape. And he is an absolute animal. He is everything they hoped he would be. And I was so happy for him last night. Not just for doing it for the first MVP who's a J, but the pressure on that kid was unbelievable. Unbelievable. And to see him, even for a fleeting moment, even if this is like the best half season of his life, I'm elated for him. Because at least he's reached a point where he's showing people, yeah, it was worth it. Now, how far this is going to go, who the hell knows? But he is, this is why I don't get bothered by the Jays bullpen one. I don't get bothered by a bad Steve Matz start. Because if that's your core, I guarantee you, unless you are the dumbest front office people in the history of baseball, you're going to be in the playoffs more often than not. Because you can figure it out.
Which these guys, to me, have proved themselves, whether it be making the playoffs last year, the core, as you mentioned, these guys have proved themselves to me. By the way, Sinclair Russell is watching in Northern Ontario on YouTube and says, I miss you as well, Sid. Love the rants. There's a lot of questions coming in about you personally and the BT thing and all that, which we'll get to, Sid. But I got to ask you this. Stephen A. Smith, I said yesterday, he's my guy, he's my spirit animal, but he really stepped in it with what he said about Shohei Ohtani. I couldn't disagree more about him not speaking English. I don't think that matters. But then Vladdy last night had a translator for his interview. So how big a deal is that they don't speak English?
I'll put it to you this way. There are two guys in baseball this year, because I don't watch sports the way I did. I still love it. And I said this to Tim recently. It feels weird not being that immersed in it. I feel kind of lazy. I feel like I'm missing stuff. But there are two guys in baseball that I don't want to miss. Vladdy's one. And I'm watching Angels games, and Mike Trout's hurt. And I'm watching them for the kid Ohtani. I could care less whether he needs a translator. And by the way, and you guys know this as well as anyone else, there have been plenty of players who speak all types of languages in North American sports that are in English, who were also horribly mistreated by beat writers across North America and were misquoted. And I can tell you right now, Vladimir Guerrero Jr. knows English fine. But he's made a choice that if he speaks to the media, he wants to be quoted accurately. And I'm assuming Shohei Ohtani is in the same boat. I can guarantee you Shohei Ohtani's picked up some English, 100%. But he wants to be quoted accurately. And that's the part of that where Stephen A. Smith, as shrewd as he's been in his career, because he's built a hell of a career, he makes a lot of money for a reason, failed to say. Those guys know English. They just know that a lot of beat writers and reporters nowadays, especially social media, are jackasses and will misquote you for clicks. And so for that reason alone, I have no problem with either of those guys using translators at all, because they're not using it for the reason that Stephen A. Smith kind of pushed out there. Like, Shohei Ohtani is so special. It just doesn't make any sense to me. I think he stepped in it. That's the first time I've ever seen him apologize. He knew he stepped in it.
I know. Well, that's my point.
Unless I'm wrong, Roddy, has he apologized ever? Have you ever seen him apologize for anything?
No, and I watch him every day. And that's I'm shocked that he whiffed on this one. But whatever, as you know, Sid, it's live television. So you can't take back a lot of times things that we say. It is what it is. From James in Borden, Manitoba. Damn you, 6-0. Sportsnet will never be the same. Loved Tim and Sid and hope you the best. Nelson Hackowicz writes in and says, how's Sid adjusting to morning life on breakfast television? And here's the thing. Like you said, I just went on a rant. You saw my rant about the Ryder thing. I'm not the Ryder guy anymore. You're not the Tim and Sid guy
I had 9
anymore.
Ryder's questions, and I got to pull back now. I felt terrible. I had a lot of Fajardo questions. Like, I was going to ask a ton.
It's right. Sorry to disappoint you. I knew, to be frank, because I watched Tim and Sid every day, that when you left, I knew it was your choice, and I was just happy for you. But can you talk? I don't know if you ever really explained the reasons, not that I saw anyways, to make this change from Tim and Sid to Breakfast Television Toronto. So would you mind enlightening us in the country?
I will. And I have 30 to 40 seconds to go completely off topic before we get to that, and I will.
Lots.
I did get the white golf shirt email today.
You saw that,
mentioned this.
Yeah.
Saw the start of the show. Well, obviously, I'm going to see the start of the show. So I'm part of the team. No mention.
Team
disappointed.
Guy.
Whatever.
Your team.
Whatever. I know Moose noticed, didn't say anything. Whatever. Not a big deal. Secondly, what you guys are doing here is great. Congratulations to everyone on the team. This is slick. I know people at home don't know the business like us, but to see your rant sponsored is a dream of mine that never materialized. God bless you, Rodney.
Bronco Plumbing.
If I had a rant sponsored, I'd be a millionaire 20,000 times. Look at it, another rant. Boom. You just made $100,000. Just like that. Beautiful. Congratulations on the show. It looks slick.
Thank you.
You guys got a good, fantastic following. You talk. You guys got a great thing going. Congratulations for everyone on the team.
Thank you, Sid.
Would you ask me again? Oh, why I left? Sorry.
You haven't changed.
Why I left. I stray a little bit. It's interesting because the spot I'm in, this is the first time I've sat here since the last Tim and Sid show. This way. And Tim and I were doing this basement show. It started off as 3-hour radio shows with no sports. There were a lot of people in the same boat across the country and in Toronto. They know what that's like. Those were not easy shows. And then as the pandemic kind of went along, you just do a lot of thinking. And the show Tim and I, you guys know, this isn't an easy show you guys do.
Yeah.
And very few people, very few people, you guys understand. There's a handful of people I know, both in Toronto and I know the radio market's gotten a lot tougher in Canada, but some really talented people also know the grind that it's a labor of love, but it can wear on it. And I just found the more Tim and I did it, I just kind of kept, and I've had these conversations with Tim on and off. I felt like what else could we prove to people together down the road? What haven't we done? We were the type of show where if you needed us to go 3.5 hours, no problem. If you needed us to go 7 hours during a Raptors parade, commercial free, no problem. And I just, I was, at some point, you ask yourself, what's the next challenge? And as I I'm at my bar talking to you guys, and I got to a point where if there was going to be another challenge that came along, I would probably, if it made sense, I would be very intrigued. Now, Tim knows, and people who know me know, I'm a bit of a political head. I'm comfortable talking about a lot of stuff. I find it intriguing. And then the opportunity came along at BT. And I've been watching that show for a while, and it's for people outside of Toronto, it's tough to explain, because I know we're national now, but we have been national a long time. So we're kind of building that audience now, but locally, it's been around for decades. And breakfast television's been a part of people's day, and there's a real. I saw that as a hell of a challenge, because I don't think it's a spot anyone would see me in necessarily. And it got to a point where we had some conversations, and then my bosses at BT, they're like, okay, I'll talk to the sports guy. Someone said, talk to the sports guy. I'm like, all right, I'll talk to the sports. So one conversation led to another conversation, led to another conversation. Rod, you know how these things go. You mesh with people. And apologies for my feed. I think I'm coming in a little grainy, but as long as can you guys hear me okay?
100%.
Okay, so it got to the point where there was an audition and with Dina Pugliese, who's unbelievable, and it went well. And the sports guy that was a huge underdog at the start of the process is now a minus 150 Vegas favorite to get the chair, and I had to make a decision. And I had a choice between, and I've said this before, I said this with Elliot Friedman and Jeff Merrick on their pod. So this is nothing new, but like Tim and I can do that show in our sleep. And I could probably do it till I retire. But do I want to be that comfortable, or do I want to challenge myself, is what I kept asking myself. And this show, Breakfast Television, would be a hell of a challenge for a guy who's gone to sleep steady at 3 a.m. every day for 35 years of his life. Maybe not 35. Like, that's a big lifestyle change. So I found it very intriguing because I knew there was not a lot of people. One, I wanted to work with some of the people there. Two, I knew there were people in our business, outside of our business, who would not think I'd succeed, who wouldn't think it would work. You know what I mean, Roddy? Like,
oh no, I have no idea. I have no idea what you mean by that.
Dumb question. Point taken, Rod.
Yeah.
So at the end of the day, that was the decision. Do I stay comfortable for a long time? Because I know Tim like the back of my hand. He knows me. We're very different people, but we always worked amazingly well together, I thought.
Oh yeah.
And I think that helped the show. Like, we were very different. Like, it was a very unique show that way. Or do I try this completely different thing? And after sitting in my basement for like 9 months, I said to myself, this is probably it. Like, that was the push to say to myself, listen, sports has been amazing, but I think there's something else out there. And that's essentially what it was.
Cool.
If the pandemic doesn't happen, I don't know if this happens. I'll be straight with all of you. I don't know if this happens. I'm extremely fortunate this opportunity came around. This is a rare opportunity for someone in my position. But I miss Timmy. I miss the guys. I still watch them every day. The new guy's doing all right. Whatever. But thank you. I was waiting for something on that.
How about that?
I got you.
Jesse Rubinoff's doing a great job. I'm breaking his you know what. But I'm having a blast doing this. We're doing everything. No 2 days are the same.
Not only
if there's a new.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
No. Not only was I happy for you initially, the other thing, the second thought that I had was, he'll be great. By the way, who owns Breakfast Television? Wonder what corporate banner is that?
Same banner.
It's the same banner?
So I didn't have to move. That was the best part about it, is my swipe card still worked. I didn't have to get a new swipe card.
How about that?
So yeah, there you go. How about that? How about that? Nice. There you go.
Just from some of our viewers here, from Mike Horgan in the 905. Good to hear you on Canada's best new talk show, Sid. All the best. From Nelson, shows like Tim and Sid, Off the Record, and the RP Show are rare in Canada, but abundant in the U.S. What's holding Canadian sports talk media back? I have no idea, and I don't care, because we're on the air and we're having fun. Sid gets it. Jeff, the Stamps fan, says Off the Record was a great show. Yes, absolutely it was. And Sid, honestly, unfortunately, we're out of time. If you understand how TV works, I'm not sure if you do or not, but with
I've never been on time to leave a segment in my career. This is nothing new to me. So
as you and I are SCORE alum, I don't know, is Glennie McDonald working at Game Plus this morning?
Shout out Glennie. The SCORE, I love that. By the way, that conversation you guys had, I forget how recently you had it, but among the SCORE people, it raced. Like, we really appreciated you guys letting that breathe, because That's an error in broadcasting history in this country that's got to find some space. There was a lot of people who busted their hump at that station who did amazing things. And I really appreciated you guys digging in on that. That was cool.
Cool. Sid, keep in touch, my friend. Go have a nap. I'm sure you're tired. And I'm so glad that it's going so well for you.
Thanks, brother. By the way, Oiler fans, relax. They got to make Connor McDavid happy. All right, just calm down.
Exactly.
No one's talking about it. Connor's
that's the
pissed.
Sid
Go
we
get
know.
Duncan Keith. Unbelievable.
Perfect message right there. Oiler fans, relax. Thanks, Sid.
Relax.
Okay.
See you, boys.
Yeah, you're awesome, man. Appreciate it. Sid Seixeiro, we got a break. We'll digest all of that. And I got to tell you some more score stories with Sid, too, because I know you love those. Everybody loves those stories from the score.
Yeah.
You're watching the RP Show on the Game Plus TV network, YouTube, and Facebook Live, and 24-hour sports radio for Suds Full Service Car Wash at rodpedersen.com.
Have you subscribed to the Rod Pedersen Show YouTube channel yet? Head to youtube.com/The Rod Pedersen Show now.
Smoky in the air, that's a lot of pine. Big time, big time, big time, big time.
Bronco Plumbing and Heating, proudly serving Regina and surrounding areas since 1978. We are excited to announce the new Bryant Furnace Trade-in Allowance Program. If you have a working Bryant furnace, 15 years old or less, you may be eligible to receive a new furnace at a discounted rate. If you'd like to take advantage of the Bryant Trade-in Program, or to hear how we can help improve your home, give us a call today at 306-781-2090.
Nestled in the scenic Qu'Appelle Valley, just 20 minutes northwest of Regina, is one of the finest golf courses in all of Saskatchewan, the Deer Valley Golf Club. The clubhouse has a full-service restaurant, and customers can enjoy a casual dining experience with spectacular views of the golf course and valley. A fully stocked golf shop, staffed by PGA of Canada professionals, is equipped to meet all of your golf apparel and equipment needs. Book your tee time, family event, or corporate tournament today at the Deer Valley Golf Club. Call 306-731-1445.
Comfort has always been something we as people strive for. It means that the places we live and work, and that the people we care most about, are able to go about their lives focusing on the things that matter. Our focus at FlameTech has remained the same for more than 20 years. Now more than ever, we need each other to support our local businesses. As an industry leader in combustion services, we are proud to attend to the needs of our communities and support the local economy.
Don't rack your brain trying to source the equipment and materials you need for your business. Rockstar can operate your entire supply chain, from PO creation to expediting your shipments, all from our office. Leverage the buying power of the Rockstar Buying Group to not only save money and time, but also the headache. From gloves to glue, we can provide it for you. Find out more at rockstar.com.
Comfort has always been something we as people strive for. It means that the places we live and work, and that the people we care most about, are able to go about their lives focusing on the things that matter. Our focus at FlameTech has remained the same for more than 20 years. Now more than ever, we need each other to support our local businesses. As an industry leader in combustion services, we are proud to attend to the needs of our communities and support the local economy.
Business owners and marketers. Okay, we know you think we're pretty cool. That's why we want you to share in the coolness factor. Partner with the Rod Pedersen Show and market your business every weekday to sports lovers just like yourself. Take advantage of our many cost-effective commercial and promotional opportunities. Tell the world about your business. Yes, the world. Thanks to Game Plus TV and the Rod Pedersen Digital Network. Contact us today and find out how you can be a part of Canada's fastest-growing sports talk show. The Rod Pedersen.
Did you know you can catch all the best moments from the show on all our social media platforms? Now, back to the studio with Rod.
Welcome back, everybody. I got a question for you people in the back. I should have in the break. What's Wi-Fi? network are we in here? Is it media or studio?
There's a couple.
Which one works?
The both, but I think.
Would you say studio? Okay. My Wi-Fi goes in and out throughout the show.
See.
I don't know why that happened.
And there's nothing more frustrating because you need something. You need it now.
Generally, patience is a virtue, they say. Anyways, I got it. My sports update here.
Except when you're on live TV.
William May in Lloydminster says, Rod, time to get out of your comfort zone and start talking tennis and soccer. William, time for you to shut the show off and beat it. How about that? Shohei Ohtani unleashed his 100-mile-an-hour heat while pitching a perfect inning for the win and becoming baseball's first two-way All-Star. And the American League breezed past the National League 5-2 at Coors Field for its 8th straight victory in the Midsummer Classic. Ohtani was 0 for 2 at the plate, grounding out twice as the AL's leadoff man in DH. But the Angels' phenom pitched a 1-2-3 first inning on 14 pitches a night after competing in the Home Run Derby. The Bonds, the Griffies, and now the Guerreros. Blue Jays slugger Vladdy Guerrero Jr. hit a 468-foot blast into the stands to join his father as just the third father-son duo to hit a home run in the MLB All-Star Game. That hot boy finished with 2 RBIs and was named the MVP of the game, and at 22 is the youngest to ever do so. Baseball Commissioner Rob Manfred says the fate of the Athletics in Oakland will be determined in the next few months. A's owners have proposed a new ballpark in the Howard Terminal area of Oakland, and Manfred said if the stadium project is not approved, the team would move forward with either a move to Las Vegas or another location. Manfred also saying yesterday, boy, was he a wet blanket yesterday now that I think about it. They're doing away with the 7-inning doubleheaders. They're doing away with putting a runner on second in the 10th inning to begin this 10th inning. Did he have any good news? Hey, do you know that area of Oakland? No?
A little bit.
I've never been to Oakland, so I wouldn't know. It turns out that Kawhi Leonard's knee injury was a lot more serious than the Clippers originally announced. The All-Star forward has undergone surgery to repair a partial tear of his right ACL. Leonard first got hurt in Game 4 of the team's second-round series against the Utah Jazz. He was held out of the last 8 postseason games, including the Clippers' 4-2 loss to the Phoenix Suns in the West Finals. This sports update for the Tap Brewhouse and Drive-Thru Liquor Store, and for Red Bull Canada, Red Bull gives you wings. James in Borden, Manitoba. That's why I froze for a second. He says, Angry Rod has entered the building. James in Borden, Manitoba, you need to understand something. I've got 18,000 people a day telling me what I should do. How many are telling you? So for a guy to come into my show and say, you need to start talking tennis and soccer, you know what you need to do? Stop talking. Dale Baraza, good late morning. He says, I have a message in a bit, but my son and I watch every day, as you know. Great show as always. Bombers in pads. Junior and I in swim trunks. Summer is good. Be safe, friends. Nelson Hackowich says, Jordan Williams Lambert. He wrote J. Will, but I don't think Nelson understands that most of the viewers across the country don't know what J. Will means. Not taking reps at Riders Camp today. He's out watching drills. Thanks for the rider update, Nelson. And I think, what did we expect? That was my third point today. What's going on in the CFL and what do we expect? And I know we're up against it for a break here.
Yeah.
But Jason Greger yesterday, who incidentally was our rock star of the day for Rockstar Supply Chain Solutions, said he expects a lot of injuries once the regular season kicks off. And I had mentioned that it's a compacted training camp. It's actually not a compacted training camp. It's an extended training camp, really, from July 10th to August 5th. What is that? 3 straight weeks with no games.
Yeah, it's like 20 days or 21 days, like right at the 3-week mark. So, yeah, you're going to see some of that for sure. I mean, you don't see, an overabundance of contact at training camp, but they're going to have to ramp that up a little bit. You can't go into the week 1 with no contact. So at some point, they're going to have to add that to training camps across the country. But we'll see stuff like this happening all over. Guys taking rest days, guys getting, you called it load management that they do in basketball. We're going to see that throughout camps all across the country.
A couple more comments. One more from James in Borden, Manitoba. He says, I love Angry Rod, just to be clear. Makes me smile. I'm not angry. I'm just not taking people's crap anymore. Big difference. Not angry at all. And when you stop taking people's crap, you're not angry.
Very peaceful.
How about this? Very peaceful. So I'm very happy.
How about that?
John in Winnipeg. We got to get on this. John Ohm. Rod has a backbone. I respect that 100%. Yes, you're not going to tell me what to do. I'm fine. And then we'll come back on this in viewer takeover, but Nelson says no Dion Lacey at Riders camp today. And that was reported yesterday. He's in the COVID protocol. And what I was told, because a coach called me and said he was taken off the field. The trainers came out and grabbed him and took him off the field. That's very Des Bryant with the Ravens last year. Remember that?
I do.
He was in warm-up, and he's like, what?
And he couldn't play. And
I feel fine.
Yeah.
So let's talk about that when we come back, because here we are. What? Yeah, we'll just break, because we got thoughts on that and information on that nobody else has. It's the RP Show on the Game Plus TV network, YouTube, and Facebook, live and 24-hour sports radio at rodpedersen.com.
Have you subscribed to the Rod Pedersen Show YouTube channel yet? Head to youtube.com/The Rod Pedersen Show now.
Capital is Regina's trusted Ford Lincoln dealership. Whether you're on the market for a new or pre-owned vehicle, we got you covered. And when it's time for service work, you can trust our factory-trained technicians who specialize in repairing any make or model. But don't take our word for it. Check out capitalfordlincoln.com to see how we roll and to learn about what other customers are saying about working with us. Your dealership experience should be fun, easy, and transparent. And that's what you get when you choose Capital Ford Lincoln, Regina's trusted Ford Lincoln dealership.
We started Suds Car Wash in 2003.
There's a bit of us in every part of the business. I've been working here since I was about 10 years old. Hard to believe it's been 12 years since. Working with my family has been great. My mom and dad have taught us the importance of hard work. I've been here since I was 10 years old, and my dad has taught me a lot about quality work.
From all of us at Suds Car Wash, we make your car shine.
At Prairie Mobile, you can get the phone you want when you want. All smartphones are $0 every day. With convenient locations across Saskatchewan, Prairie Mobile, your SaskTel authorized dealer, has you covered. Visit us online at prairiemobile.com.
In today's fast-paced world, we know you don't always have time to cook a nutritious meal. The Mad Greek in Moose Jaw's got you covered with delicious takeout and delivery specials, even for large groups or occasions. Authentic Greek cuisine, pizza, ribs, and more. There's something for everyone to enjoy. Offering licensed dining, delivery, and their takeout window is open to get your Greek to go. For more information and to view the online menu, visit themadgreekeatery.com. Nestled in the scenic Qu'Appelle Valley, just 20 minutes northwest of Regina, is one of the finest golf courses in all of Saskatchewan, the Deer Valley Golf Club. The clubhouse has a full-service restaurant, and customers can enjoy a casual dining experience with spectacular views of the golf course and valley. A fully stocked golf shop, staffed by PGA of Canada professionals, is equipped to meet all of your golf apparel and equipment needs. Book your tee time, family event, or corporate tournament today at the Deer Valley Golf Club. Call 306-731-1445.
Universal Collision Center is Saskatchewan's premier auto body shop. Our extensive process ensures that every vehicle that comes through our state-of-the-art facilities is returned pre-accident condition, and that every UCC customer experience is an easy one. We're certified to repair all makes, all models, and all luxury brands, and Universal Auto Spa offers full-service detailing packages to suit you and your vehicle. Plus, we're the official body shop of your Saskatchewan Rough Riders. Universal Collision Center, 3910 Rochdale Boulevard and 2355 First Avenue in Regina.
Hey Rod Squad, now you can join the team with your very own RP Show gear. Head to rodpedersenshop.com and get yours today while supplies last. It's just like we wear on the show, official RP Show gear at rodpedersenshop.com.
Send us your opinions now. We won't victimize you unless you really deserve it. Now, back to your host, Rod Pedersen.
It's Canada's daytime sports talk show, and it is viewer takeover, and this is going to be good. And Darren's worried because he doesn't know what's going to come out of my mouth. No idea. What's real fun is I don't either. But can you go to the two-shot for a minute? Couple things here. Jim Wagner writes it on the Prairie Mobile text line. He says, good day, all. You do the talking, Roddy, and I'll do the listening. That's the deal, and I'm good with that. Rants welcome. Always enjoyable, guys. So Mandy from Edmonton, whom I love, but she's hung up on today's the anniversary of however many years it was that my boy Duron Carter flattened Ottawa coach Rick Campbell on his way off the field. And I said Duron's a victim. Rick Campbell got in his way. That's what Duron told me, so I believe him. Mandy says saying Duron is a victim, though, is outlandish. And to tell Jeff, the Stamps fan, to leave for disagreeing is too much. If we're not allowed to disagree and have our own opinions, then it's definitely time to go. So, bye-bye, man. Bye. Two-shot, please. What's it say on the screen there, Darren?
The Rod Pedersen Show.
Right. So the point was somebody was in here 20 minutes ago telling me that I need to talk about soccer and what else? Tennis?
Yeah.
No. What does it say on the front of the desk?
The Rod Pedersen Show.
Right. I'll do the talking. You do the watching. And so you don't agree with me that Duron Carter was a victim. That's fine, but don't come back at me an hour later and still complain about it because we're not going to agree and I don't have time. So, moving on to that. Chris in Toronto says, what the actual F is this crap about the Argos changing leagues? How is this even a thing? You guys gotta stick with it. You gotta watch every day. And most times Chris Bird does. But it's like last week we talked about this. I'm not getting into that. We're supposed to be getting ready for a season here in the CFL. Why are we talking about the Argos going to whatever league? They're going to go where? The XFL doesn't even exist. They're not playing until 2023.
That's right.
I'm with you, Chris. Why are we talking about it? John Schmeiser says, Rod is always at his best when he gets a little belligerent. I'm not being belligerent. I'm setting a boundary. You people need to understand something. You can't come into my show and tell me how to run my show. The infamous Paul, whom looks very summery today, by the way. He's wearing sandals, a T-shirt, and shorts.
Wow.
He said to me ages ago, he goes, why do people always think they can tell you what to do? I said, I have no idea, Paul, but I'm not allowing it anymore. I've said for years, if I walked into McDonald's and they said, I don't like the way you do your hamburgers. This is how you should do the hamburgers. You know what they'd say? There's the effing door, dude. That's why I'm saying that. If you don't like what I'm talking about and you don't like my opinions, there's the door. Don't come at me and want to have an argument because I'm not arguing with you. I don't care what you think. So if you want to leave, goodbye. Now, Jeff, the Stamps fan, came up with a very good question, which we'll have to drag over into hour two in the kickoff. He says, if Dion Lacey has COVID, doesn't everybody on the team have COVID? And I'm a little frustrated, not with him at all, but by that coach in Texas I was referring to, the football coach I talked to last week. He goes, from what I gather, the CFL is going to be where the NFL was a year ago. That's where the CFL is right now, where the NFL was a year ago. So remember when they were pulling guys off the field in NFL camps?
Yeah.
That's where we are in the Canadian Football League. So to sit and try and make sense of why they would go pull a guy off in the middle of training camp in August when all the restrictions are open, I don't have the answer, Jeff. I don't know who's got the damn answer. Anyways, next hour, John Forsland of the Seattle Kraken, and we'll continue all this. Stick around. Who knows what's coming up in hour two on Game Plus TV.
Head to youtube.com/The Rod Pedersen Show now. You gotta subscribe. Click the subscribe button for all the content you may have missed.
Nestled in the scenic Qu'Appelle Valley, just 20 minutes northwest of Regina, is one of the finest golf courses in all of Saskatchewan, the Deer Valley Golf Club. The clubhouse has a full-service restaurant, and customers can enjoy a casual dining experience with spectacular views of the golf course and valley. A fully stocked golf shop, staffed by PGA of Canada professionals, is equipped to meet all of your golf apparel and equipment needs. Book your tee time, family event, or corporate tournament today at the Deer Valley Golf Club. Call 306-731-1445.
Is it time to take your event online? Bring it to IKS Live. We've got a fully customized virtual event platform with remote guest support for your next fundraiser, talk show, conference, performance, and more. IKS Live offers live streaming to Facebook Live and YouTube and pre-recorded capabilities, both in our studio with green screen available and on location with pre-production and post-production services. Visit us at ikslive.ca.
Comfort has always been something we as people strive for. It means that the places we live and work, and that the people we care most about, are able to go about their lives focusing on the things that matter. Our focus at FlameTech has remained the same for more than 20 years. Now more than ever, we need each other to support our local businesses. As an industry leader in combustion services, we are proud to attend to the needs of our communities and support the local economy.
Does this look familiar? Your fans deserve an incredible arena experience. It's time for an upgrade. Stunning graphics. Revenue opportunities are just the beginning with our in-venue display systems and scoring technology. Let us help you find the best solution for your facility. DDG, always delivering the best fan experience.
Ultimate Fan Zone. Shop online. UltimateFanZone.ca. Slick, user-friendly. We built this site for the die-hard sports fans. Jerseys, hats, team apparel, offering officially licensed fan gear from the best lines in sports. Nike, New Era, Adidas, Fanatics. Game day ready to your door. Now, just a click away. UltimateFanZone.ca. Or check us out on Facebook and Instagram. UFC Downtown Moose Jaw. Home of everything authentic.
Rockstar Supply Chain Solutions is Saskatchewan's only full-service supply chain company. Strategic sourcing, PO creation, and order expediting, VMI and vending solutions, and free delivery are just a few of the supply chain services we provide. If your company needs it, Rockstar Supply Chain Solutions can get it for you. Price, quality, service, Rockstar Supply Chain Solution is helping Saskatchewan companies buy better.
Here's how your business can be a part of Canada's fastest growing sports talk show. All you have to do is contact us, and we will tell you all about the dynamic and exciting marketing opportunities we have, utilizing a fully integrated 360-degree multi-platform. Imagine your business seen and heard across Canada on Game Plus TV and around the world on the Rod Pedersen Digital Network. You will use one of the most overused expressions in sports. You gotta be kidding me. Get your business involved. Contact the Rod Pedersen Show today.
Have you ever found, Jason, a analytic for heart and leadership?
I will say this. I think heart and leadership can be also overrated at times.
How about that?
I'll say this, though. Duncan Keith was a player who was an elite player and a major contributor on a cup contending team. You know, he played a nice role, but he wasn't a difference maker. He was just part of the team. And you need a lot of good players to win, but you definitely need a few great ones.
This is the Rod Pedersen Show.
It certainly is. Happy Wednesday, everybody. It's Canada's daytime sports talk show. We welcome our friends around the world of Canadian sports fans. Moose DuPont there, RP here, and everybody thinks that I'm worked up today. I'm not worked up, but if you're just tuning in, you're gonna find out why. What a very enlightening interview last hour with Sid Seixeiro, my old buddy from the Score, and I promised I was gonna tell some Score stories, didn't I? And then I got derailed by the viewers who were trying to tell me what to do on the show and disagreeing with me. So Sid explained why he left Tim and Sid, the very popular Sportsnet drive show on radio and television out of Toronto, and he went to Toronto's breakfast television. And I got the sense that this is the first time that Sid has explained why he left.
It feels like
it. And it was great. And we used to work together on the Score 20 years ago. And you young kids probably don't even know what the Score is. I would hope they do. I know you do. There was a big game. We've gone through this before. Tim McAuliffe, Sarah Orleski, Arash Madani, Elliot Friedman, Glenn McDonald, who's apparently not working today at Game Plus, but normally he is one of the top programming guys. There was a lot of us. It's where we all got to be friends, and we've stayed friends for decades since, and it's just a nice thing. And we all have this connection. I love it. This hour, John Forsland of the Seattle Kraken, their TV voice, is going to be joining us. This is the second half kickoff for the Four Seasons Sports Palace. And Jennifer is watching down at the Four Seasons. I've been saving her comment. I should have introduced you to her the other night at the UFC. Did I?
You did not.
Okay, Jen, next time, I'll introduce you to Moose. But she says, spicy show today. Mike Blackbird in Toronto says, no spicier than normal.
He knows.
How about that?
James Zylstra's had some very nice comments in today, and he says, I loved the score. I loved it too. Which it still operates, by the way. This morning when I was pounding away on the elliptical, I was going through the channels, and 360 came up, Sportsnet 360. That's was the score.
Yes, Sportsnet 360.
Yeah.
That's right. Man, it was so good. I mean, as a broadcaster, I'm probably the youngest of the score group, like grew up watching the score. I'm probably in the youngest, early 30s, right? Was probably, I think if you're in your 20s, you're not really familiar with it. But like on the road as a sports guy doing play-by-play and traveling on the bus and staying in hotels, you watch that on a loop.
Yeah.
The highlights. And you got everything. And you caught it 3, 4, 5 times. And you just knew what happened in every single game. And you knew every single player. And it was
amazing.
Because of the score.
Yeah. John Ohm in Winnipeg. He says, never knew Rod worked at the Score Network. I sure liked watching it back then. Yeah, it's awesome. Back on point. So today is the however many year anniversary of Duron Carter in Montreal knocking over Ottawa head coach Rick Campbell on his way off the field. And so I said he was a victim, and because he's my guy. So is Rick Campbell too, by the way. But Rick, get out of the way. Get off the field, Rick. Duron ends up getting suspended. He's the victim. That's my take. So I've been having some back and forth with Jeff, the Stamps fan, and Mandy, and they're regular viewers of the show for sure. And they were upset that I guess wouldn't engage. They wanted to have a back and forth on this. And I said, it's okay to disagree. I'm not going to sit and argue with you. There's a difference. You don't agree with my opinion that Duron was a victim. That's fine, but I'm not going to have a running argument. Gino DePauli's watching, the voice of the Okotoks Oilers. He says, the score was amazing when I was a kid. Loved watching the ticker constantly. I feel the ticker was started there. Miss it. Maybe it was.
Might have been.
We were very innovative at the score at the time. And by the way, just lastly on the score, which I understand, John in Winnipeg says, what's with the white? We're all wearing white. I don't know. It just happened. Do I need to call you in the morning and find out what you're wearing?
We can only wear it. What do they say? We can only wear it until Labor Day, so we're getting it out of the way.
So they say. Yesterday we were wearing navy. Yeah. Anyways, I'll just say this. When I went into Toronto with the Rough Riders, I was working for the Score. I was the regional correspondent out here in Western Canada, and I would go down to the Score and just go around and shake everybody's hands. I'm Rod. I'm the Western guy. And that's where I met Glenn McDonald and all these people face to face. It was amazing. And we've stayed friends decades later. That's the cool thing about that. Yeah. We just all got along really well. 2 other topics. The poll question, which we've barely talked about tonight, and that's on us, or today. Who's the most coveted free agent in the NHL this month? Ryan Getzlaf, Taylor Hall, Dougie Hamilton, or Alex Ovechkin, and they're all in alphabetical order. Dougie Hamilton's winning on Twitter with 47% of the vote. What are they saying on Facebook?
Ovechkin's got 58. He was 80 before. Dougie Hamilton and Taylor Hall are kind of jockeying for second place right now. I think Dougie Hamilton's kind of the odds-on favorite. I think people think Ovechkin's going to get a deal done in Washington.
Well, but I would have said that about Getzlaf. Like, are they saying he's too old? Yeah. Is that why he's not coveted? Too old?
He'll be a really good role player. He's now entering the Joe Thornton, Jason Spezza, Corey Perry realm. Right. He's entering that a little bit, but still provides ton of value. Leadership, size, all those good things.
Sure. Yeesh. I got to send a note to the Getzlafs because I haven't. Well, I've talked to Chris, but not about his brother. And which way he's leaning. Because I think most people would just expect Ryan wouldn't leave Anaheim.
Right.
He owns a car dealership down there, for God's sakes. He's got to run a car dealership.
Yeah.
Or maybe he wants to go to Edmonton. Like a la Duncan Keith. A la Duncan Keith. Getz has a vacation home in Kelowna, just like Duncan Keith.
Boy, I like that fit. Too.
How about that?
I like that.
They're really very reluctantly coming off the score topic here. Colin McAnulty in Ottawa says, the score was great television. I miss Cam the redhead. I was always wondering if he hit an 8-ball before he went on air. He was so hyper. Don't think so, but they also did that show Drafted, which they had all the interns. You want to do a Drafted here?
Yeah, I do.
It was after I left the score, but they had Drafted, and was it after I left? Maybe it was while I was there. Doesn't matter. They had all these interns, and they picked one. It was like The Apprentice before The Apprentice. It was like The Bachelor before The Bachelor.
Yeah, it was American Idol of broadcasting.
Yes. It was fun to watch,
It was
too.
really cool. They never called me to be on it. Was disappointed, but...
As we were saying earlier about people like us that are savants, trailblazers in a way, the score was so far ahead of its time, and then they torch it. And here we are decades later talking about how great it was. Mike Blackbird says, wasn't Cabby on the score? Yes, Cabral Richards, who always got me Blue Jays tickets when I was in town. And then it became Ivanka Osmak, who, I'm not sure she was on the score, but I'm buddies with her brother. This whole country is like one big house party, I think.
I know. That's the meme. When we're running the score clip on Instagram, it should say this entire country is one big house party. That's the meme.
Do we want to get serious yet? Because I'm okay playing it either way.
Yeah.
Because somebody sent me from the 640 a text of a tweet from CTV TSN's Claire Hanna with what's going on at Saskatchewan Roughriders practice. But unfortunately, I haven't figured out this LG phone from Prairie Mobile. I don't think it's got data. It's just got, sorry, I don't think it's got, I can just get messages, not
You can't click
internet.
on it. Maybe you don't have Twitter downloaded.
Don't have, I don't know. Can you just tell me what she said? I can't click on what she tweeted. But it has to do with, as I said, we're going to get serious here, the player, Dion Lacey, the former Buffalo Bill, that was in camp with the Riders. He's pulled off the field yesterday because of COVID protocol, and that's all that's been said.
Do you want it?
He's got it. He's looking. He's going to the big board.
Yeah, so she was talking, she asked, I believe, load. She asked the Riders, what does being in COVID protocol mean? She quote tweeted Farhan, who said Lacey's in COVID protocol.
Right.
And they said they're not allowed to say anything further to the fact that he's in COVID protocol. Couldn't tell you what that means. She asked.
Boy.
I think just it means you got to get him off the field before. Once you find out, you can't, in good conscience, let him continue to participate and risk spreading COVID to your teammates, right? So as soon as you find out,
forget the 40 minutes ago that he was in the locker room with him.
But you didn't know. But once you know, it's like we can't anymore. What do you do?
It's because COVID knows.
I guess.
That 40 minutes. Let's get him off the field now, because 40 minutes ago when he was around all his locker rooms, when he was in the shower with all his guys, COVID didn't know then, but now we know.
Well, that's the
it's 11-11, by the way.
No, that's the testing, right? That needs to. You need to know that information before you get on the field. That's the idea. But when you find out, no matter when it is, you can only make decisions based on the information you have. So if you don't have the information 40 minutes ago, you can't let them. I mean, why would you take them off the field if you don't have any information?
Yeah. It still makes no sense.
I know. It's
so
complicated.
So furthermore, back to last hour, if you weren't watching, I had a lengthy conversation with a coach in the States last week about all these things. And that's why I get a little upset when people that watch this show and are CFL fans and write in and say, oh, Rod, no, you're wrong because this is what they said on TV. Yeah, I know what they want you to think. They want you to think that Andrew Harris walked off practice the other day to go to an appointment. That's what they want you to think. So that's why I'm having a tough time covering the CFL, because what really is there right now? This let's just look at the truth. Dion Lacey left the field yesterday because of COVID protocol. Why? Well, we can't tell you that. All right, well, when you sort it out, get back to us. 4 Achilles popped last week. Why? We don't want to talk about that because we're moving on. Camp's open on Saturday. We don't want to talk about that. Okay, what do you want to talk about? So with that coach in the States last week, he's like, this is what I hear. The CFL is where the NFL was last year. Why that is, I don't know, because football players are football players, from the CFL to the NFL to the XFL. You know that. They're ballers. 70% are vaccinated. No, I think it's like 30% are vaccinated was the figure that I heard. Not that many. But would you feel that it would be that hard to think that a player, if he's not vaccinated, in this climate, although it's been a year and a half of pandemic, might contract COVID somewhere? I don't think it's that hard to believe, is it?
No.
So a year ago when they were doing it in the National Football League, this is what happened. We mentioned Des Bryant. Wasn't it Thursday Night Football? He's in warm-up with the Ravens. Just what happened yesterday with the Riders is what happened to Des Bryant. I was watching the game. And the trainers walked out onto the field and, Des, you got a positive COVID test. You got to come with us. He's like, what? I'm in the middle of stretching. I feel great. You got to come with us. Remember, he was going to quit. Well, he tweeted after the game, I'm going to retire. This is a joke.
He's like, I just tested negative. And then after that, he had a couple of negative tests or something, and it ended up being a false positive or whatever they call it. And he ended up being fine. But for precautionary reasons, because of that one positive test, they had to take him off the field. And
right. And this is not, I don't think, this Canadian Football League's fault. But they're no further ahead than where the NFL was last year. Do you think the CFL wants this? They don't want this. This is the rules that they have to play under, by the way.
Yeah.
But they can't divulge any more information than what they've been allowed, other than he's in COVID protocol. It just seems like every other league's moved past this, and I don't know why. Is it a money thing? Is it a Canadian government thing? Shoot, I saw the story about the Blue Jays coming home for the end of the year. Did you see that? Arden Zwelling? Was it? No. Who's the other guy? Shai Davidi. Say what? No, it was Shai Davidi. So if they do welcome fans back to Rogers Center for the Blue Jays this fall, they're going to have to be masked. They're going to have to be 6 feet apart. That was Shai Davidi's report after the All-Star game last night. So I guess it's more a Canadian-American thing than anything, and yet all the restrictions are open here. I don't understand it. People are writing in saying, why this, why that? I don't know. I've gotten to some really smart people in the last year and said, listen, you should know. You're a health person. You're a government. Why is this happening? Don't know. Where is this? Oh, by the way, Mandy in Edmonton. She's still with us. She says, I used to point out in French class in high school when it was 11:11. I eventually got kicked out because of it. Nobody's going to kick us out. Because why? Can we go to the 2-shot again? Can we go to the 2-shot again? Why are we not going to get to... What does it say what does it say, Darren? Tell me, please.
The Rod Pedersen Show.
We can point out whatever the hell we want. Every day. For hours. And somebody's calling the text line. Don't call. I should answer it and say, you're supposed to text this number, not call it. Brought to you by Prairie Mobile. Prairie Mobile is your authorized SaskTel mobility dealer. So when we come back, John Forsland of the Seattle Kraken, their TV play-by-play voice. And I trust me, John, we're not going to talk about COVID at all, okay? We're going to talk expansion draft. We're going to talk Seattle, a little bit about John. These Stanley Cup playoffs, lots to get to with him. We'll be right back. You're watching the Rod Pedersen Show on the Game Plus television network, which, by the way, is available in Seattle on TDS cable, on Game Plus, all through Washington State and Oregon. Also digitally streaming YouTube and Facebook, and 24-hour sports talk for Suds Full Service Car Wash at rodpedersen.com.
Head to youtube.com/The Rod Pedersen Show now. You gotta subscribe. Click the subscribe button for all the content you may have missed.
At Capital Ford Lincoln, we don't just sell vehicles, we buy them too. You know how we always have such a big inventory with an amazing selection? That's because we buy all makes, all models, and all years. We're going to give you the best price every time. And you don't even have to buy from us. All you have to do is visit us online or in-store, answer a few questions about your vehicle, and we'll get you a great offer. We'll even cut you a check on the same day. So save yourself the hassles of selling privately and sell it to us. Because at Capital Ford Lincoln, we'll buy it.
Don't rack your brain trying to source the equipment and materials you need for your business. Rockstar can operate your entire supply chain, from PO creation to expediting your shipments, all from our office. Leverage the buying power of the Rockstar buying group to not only save money and time, but also the headache. From gloves to glue, we can provide it for you. Find out more at rockstar.com.
At Prairie Mobile, you can get the phone you want when you want. All smartphones are $0 every day. With convenient locations across Saskatchewan, Prairie Mobile, your SaskTel authorized dealer, has you covered. Visit us online at prairiemobile.com.
We started Suds Car Wash in 2003.
There's a bit of us in every part of the business. I've been working here since I was about 10 years old. Hard to believe it's been 12 years since. Our parents always taught us about the importance of quality of work and friendly service. And here at Suds Car Wash, we're a family-run business, so it's really important that our customers feel like family.
From all of us at Suds Car Wash, we make your car shine.
In today's fast-paced world, we know you don't always have time to cook a nutritious meal. The Mad Greek in Moose Jaw's got you covered with delicious takeout and delivery specials, even for large groups or occasions. Authentic Greek cuisine, pizza, ribs, and more. There's something for everyone to enjoy. Offering licensed dining, delivery, and their takeout window is open to get your Greek to go. For more information and to view the online menu, visit themadgreekeatery.com.
Does this look familiar? Your fans deserve an incredible arena experience. It's time for an upgrade. Stunning graphics. Revenue opportunities are just the beginning with our in-venue display systems and scoring technology. Let us help you find the best solution for your facility. DDG, always delivering the best fan experience.
Laid back and kicking it, let's head back to the studio. Here's Rob.
Welcome back, everybody. Here we go. It is hour 2 of the RP show. And I'm so happy. Just hang on before we bring on John Forsland, the TV voice of the Seattle Kraken. Also formerly the NHL and NBC, Carolina Hurricanes, and a lot of other teams besides that. I'm glad he's been on here before, so he kind of gets what we're doing here. This is the most interactive show in North America. And yes, we're on Game Plus TV network, but we're also digital. So I've been having a back and forth, John, with our viewers today. One is Mandy in Edmonton. She's getting up me about disagreeing with something. Well, she's about to have a baby, and she's written in, and she says, I'm waiting for this baby to be born. He's been listening to Rod 5 days a week since his conception. He'll recognize Rod's voice when he's born. Don't kick us out now, Rod. I wasn't kicking you out for disagreeing with me. You're welcome to leave if you don't agree with what I'm saying. That's not kicking out.
No.
No.
That means you can't write in either.
Yeah. Well, you can write in. I'm just not going to listen to it. Okay, let's bring him in, please. John Forsland. Happy summer, sir. How are you?
Good, Rod. How are you?
Very good. Johnny, where are you hanging your hat right now in the summertime?
Yeah, it's a Kraken hat, as you can see. But I'm right now. I'm in Raleigh, and I'll be going to Seattle on the weekend. I'll be there for the 2 drafts. Kind of back and forth. We got a lot of balls in the air with our family, but I'll be back out again in August, and then full bore come September, and can't wait.
Boy, I got a lot of questions for you hockey-wise now that I think of Raleigh, and one of those is Dean Chenoweth going to the Leafs. I want to get your take on that, but just about the Kraken and the draft. And Moose, would you mind grabbing the jersey if you don't mind? I think we need it. We got a Kraken jersey here that I feel like I need to show off.
Good.
Actually, let's look back for a second at these Stanley Cup playoffs, John, because you were in our living rooms for months watching the Stanley Cup playoffs, and I thought they're amazing. Some people said that they weren't as exciting, especially the way Tampa won their style. How did you feel about these Stanley Cup playoffs?
Well, a couple of different ways, Rod. number one, I thought the hockey was better than because markets in the States, the fans came back, and in some places they came back in a big way. So in the second round, and game one at TD Garden was spectacular. And the fact that that was the first game that they loosened up all the restrictions, allowed everybody back into the Garden, full house. It was more or less a celebration of the return of life, the return of social well-being, so to speak. The hockey was there. The hockey was center stage. That series evolved into a great one, I thought, physically, the two teams. It was a joy to cover. But then we went to Long Island, and it ratcheted up again because of the old barn in the last season at Nassau Coliseum. And again, they went from a vaccinated half of the Coliseum and an unvaccinated half of the Coliseum to everybody allowed in. And the roof came off, and it was absolutely spectacular. So then I experienced Vegas in the third round, Vegas and Montreal. That was two different worlds, and we were locked down again as media people. And that was difficult because there were no restrictions in Las Vegas, but we were locked down. Obviously, a lot of restrictions in Montreal. They never opened up the Bell Center, and that's just a shame. And we were locked down there. So that's how my experience was personally. I thought the hockey was very good. I understand what a lot of the fans are saying about the way Tampa plays, but hey, listen, they learned a couple of years ago when they were bounced out in that record-setting season in the first round and 4 straight by Columbus, how they needed to play, how they needed to bolster their lineup to win it all, and they do it in back-to-back fashion from the goal out. Absolutely. So good on them. They are worthy champions, and I can't wait for a normal season. I hope we get there.
Well, I'll tell you what, as I said to those that were complaining about the playoffs, I say hockey's like pizza to me, John. It's all good. Some's just better than others. And I loved it all.
That's right.
And you'll appreciate this. One, here's our Kraken jersey that's going. It's one of the prizes to the winners of our pool.
Perfect.
And Jennifer writes in from the Four Seasons. She says, I got to get a Kraken jersey for my boss now. The guy that owns the Four Seasons Sports Palace, dyed-in-the-wool Leafs fan. He's done with the Leafs. He's switching to the Kraken. And because he told me he couldn't cheer for the Golden Knights, which is my team. We couldn't cheer for the same team. He needs a rub. How much are you hearing of that, John? New fans that aren't just in Seattle. How much of that are you hearing?
A lot. And a lot even in this area. I think there's the built-in intrigue about how they've gone about their business so far. They want to be obviously successful, right? Everybody does, but they want to be a model franchise on and off the ice. And a lot of the things they've done so far off the ice, maybe with the exception of hiring me, that might be the only flaw so far. They've done a nice job reaching out to their community, reaching out to the NHL in general in terms of initiatives, diversity, inclusion. A lot of these things we talk about now, we're going into a new frontier. I really believe that. And sports will have its place. Sometimes there's some controversy attached to this right now, but I think over time, we're going to see what kind of leaders we're talking about. So they want to be that team. And because of that, I think it's a perfect market for it. I know the building will be spectacular. The practice rink is spectacular. And the fans will bring a passion that we see, I think, with the Seahawks and maybe back in the day with the Sonics when they were there. And I'm going way back with that. And that place that the fans have had their own identity. And I believe Kraken fans will. And I think it will extend all over. And in today's world, as you know, like this show, like how we consume anywhere and do it today. You don't have to be within striking distance of a power signal for a radio station, or satellite coordinates are needed, or you have to be in that market to see a game. It's point of view presentation. If you want to see the Kraken or the Maple Leafs or the Canadians or the Edmonton Oilers, whoever it is, you can do it from wherever you are. And I think the Kraken will take advantage of that.
From, where did it go? Sergeant Pickles watching. He says, hello again from Seattle, Rod. And what's up, John? Hashtag that's Kraken hockey. Sergeant Pickles, 13, is watching from Seattle. Just what you were just saying. They're watching in Seattle here right now talking about the Kraken. So how excited are you for the expansion draft? Because I remember, again, with my Golden Knights, long-suffering Golden Knights fan here, once they had that draft, we got a team, right? We got players. So How excited are the people in the organization in Seattle itself to have players after July or on July 21st, John?
Well, the hockey people are sequestered, and good luck finding them or hearing from them. As you know, I have and have had a great personal relationship with Ron Francis going all the way back to Hartford. And so that's kind of different now because I work on the business side. He works on the hockey side. A lot of people say, well, gee, Ronnie did help a little bit, but it's a world. So I haven't spoken to Ron since maybe midway through the season. I know that he will keep everything close to the vest. He always has. So how does this affect everybody else? Here's my analogy. If you were a kid that around Christmas time that wanted to look at the presents and tried to guess what a package was, and maybe most kids were like this, you would do so. You would poke around a little bit. But when I was a kid, I was want to see it. I didn't want to know it. I wanted to really be surprised on Christmas Day. And as you know, hearkening back to the Golden Knights, it's all a big buildup, and then it finally happens. And when you finally see the names and you finally, the thinking behind these selections, because as you know, Rod, they go in a lot of different ways. There are players who will be part of it day one. There are players who will be traded somewhere else or will play in the minors or their prospects. That go into each pick, and then the signings that follow and the trades that happen too. So because of that, I'm not wasting a lot of time with mock drafts or thinking too much. I'm going to wait and see what it is. Then the Kraken will have a roster, and away we go. And the fans will be completely jacked up. I'm excited as can be for this. And that's just the first step. And then in a day or two, it's the entry draft, and we have the first round where they have the second overall pick player, and then the ensuing draft. Then we get to free agency in the off season, and we'll finally get to preseason and beyond, and that'll be great.
Well, buddy, I think only the old-time Western Hockey League guys like myself in the league from 93 to 2010 understand what a great hockey town that is. If you haven't been there, you wouldn't know. I've done many games out of the Key Arena. And what is the name of the new barn, A, and B? Have you been in there yet? And C, will it look anything like the old Key Arena? No?
The roof is there, so everything else is new and all tricked out, but they kept the iconic roof. It was my understanding also, and I have not been there yet, so I will tour it, I hope, this week and see it firsthand. But I've been involved in some meetings and planning, and I've seen the visuals as we moved along with this process, both not only the arena, Climate Pledge Arena, but also the practice facility, which players in the organization and the community with 3 rinks. It's going to be the focal point of youth hockey in Seattle, again, kind of dovetailing what's already in place. That's the beauty of this. I think there's a lot of newness attached, obviously, as an expansion franchise, but you're right. You're going to an area where there is hockey tradition, where there are hockey fans, tremendous junior hockey, tremendous youth hockey. Many players from that area have matriculated to the National Hockey League. So, it's not like coming here. When we came here in 97, territory, and there were a lot of people who didn't even understand why the Carolina Hurricanes were attempting this relocation from Hartford. But once the team was here, once the people got in the building, once they got to experience the Stanley Cup playoffs, the magic was there. The same thing will happen here because, as you know, once you see a game live, you're hooked. And some of the best fans I encountered in Raleigh, Rod, were the ones that had no clue about hockey. They were the ones that became the most addicted to the sport. I think the same thing will happen.
Absolutely. John Forsland with us, the TV voice of the Seattle Kraken. So a couple of somewhat personal questions. Dean Chenoweth going from the Hurricanes to the Leafs. I want your take on that. 2007, I remember Dean Chenoweth saying to me, and you know how he talks, everybody's got a blog nowadays, Roddy. And
with that voice.
Yeah,
he's got that pitch to his voice. Right.
And now what I say is everybody's got a podcast nowadays, but I'll never forget Dean Cheney saying back, everybody's got a blog nowadays, Roddy. Were you surprised at that move, especially with Rod Brindamore, with what's rolling with the Canes?
Yeah, in a couple of ways. I'll try to explain it the best I can. First of all, Dino and I go back to Springfield when he was an Islander draft choice in the late 80s. And it was great to kind of come all the way around and work with him again for those years that I was, his first 2 years as a Hurricane, and I was there for, as you know, the first one, and then 3/4 of the second one, and then we paused, and then everything blew up, and I went away. With him, I can't speak to his situation. I can only speak to what I saw from the outside. He did a fantastic job. He did a fantastic job with the defense. He did a great job individually with Dougie Hamilton. Okay, when Dougie Hamilton came here, as you know, he was still an enigma to many. There was a lot of stuff said about him, both from Calgary and from Boston. But Dean did his homework around the league with other guys who had coached him, and then decided to take his own approach, and it really worked. I think he tapped into his skill set. He tapped into his mindset. I know he did a remarkable job, and he did a great job with their penalty killing here, as you know, among the elite in the NHL over the last few seasons. So what puzzles me is that there was a lot of conjecture surrounding Brindamore's contract. And I went down this road individually with the owner, Tom Dundon, so I can speak to it. There isn't an easy negotiation, and mine really wasn't a negotiation. It was a totally different scene. But there isn't anything easy about anything that happens with this group. And you have to respect what they've been able to do. Now, since Dundon bought the team, they've had the greatest success they've had maybe ever in terms of the next, because it's been a lot of one and done. Win the cup, not make the playoffs, make the conference finals, not make the playoffs for 10 years. There's been some great moments in Raleigh. There have been some moments that are a little sketchy. So I want to say that at the front of it. But then when you look at what happened with Brindamore, I feel he should have been signed, sealed, and delivered during the season and extended at some point. And right after the playoffs, he should have been. But there was this delay, and then there was things said about maybe him moving on and maybe going to Seattle. Anyway, it worked out for him. He tried to secure his staff the best he could, and he did. And I thought Dean was part of it. Then all of a sudden, Dean left. So I think things broke down here. This is my opinion, nobody else's. He must have had an issue with what he was offered. So good for him. He's a great coach. He's gone to a big market, big profile team. He'll do a wonderful job there taking over in Dave Hackstall's spot, who's now the head coach of Seattle. So, good for him. And, he's a lifer in this game, going all the way back to his dad, just a great family and a great human being. I'm happy for him.
I am too, and that was a highly, highly, highly coveted job with the Leafs. Highly. And, I mean, we've been around the block, you and I, a few times. And so nothing should surprise us anymore. So when I saw Dean get hired by the Leafs, I was happy. And I'm like, who knows what happened in Carolina. Life moves on. And speaking of all that, I'll wind this up here, John. When the first time you were on my show, you know what a wonderful world the hockey community is. They're all like, oh, John Forsland. I was with him in the New York days. I was with him in the Springfield days. Where did you where did it start? Just take me through the road here in the 2 minutes that we have left for John Forsland that's ended up in Seattle.
Okay, so it started when I was 10 years old when I heard Dan Kelly call Bobby Orr's goal. The Bruins won the cup in 1970. I, like so many kids in New England, got hooked. So I got hooked not on the game. Yes, the game, no question about it, but the cadence of his call. So I started just being a closet announcer as a hobby in the tape recorder and so on. Went through college, didn't go to school for this, but was given some advice after taking one course that I could pursue it someday if I ever got a chance. I was given a chance in the minor leagues by a guy named who's the owner of the Springfield Indians. He's a player agent today. He's my agent today, as a matter of fact. Anyway, he hired me in 1984. I worked there for 7 years. I was lucky enough to go to Hartford. And then Jimmy Rutherford gave me a chance when they bought the team to become the full-time television announcer in 1990. And I moved here with Carolina in 97. And then the rest is history here, 23 years. And then the contract broke down. Then I was lucky enough to have presented to me, which I'm really grateful for, because as an announcer, who gets a second chance to do something like this? And in and around all of this national work, lucky to be part of ESPN's coverage back in the day in the United States, the NHL on NBC since 2011, and now hopefully, moving forward with one of the national packages. I hope to. If not, I'm good, because I have this journey ahead of me. And this next part of my career, which I'm blessed. I am blessed, Rod, to get this chance to be the voice of the Kraken, no doubt.
Well, I'll tell you, I really, really, really enjoy watching your games. And
thanks.
You'll be the one reason I cheer for the Kraken, but not against the Vegas Golden Knights this year. There seems to be a rivalry already. Okay. I'm feeling that. Are you feeling between those two teams?
Yeah, there'll be a rivalry with them because of what they did and all they hear about in Seattle. Going to win the cup in the first year and do better than Vegas because that bar is really high, right? So they have to win the cup in the first season. But how about the rivalry with Vancouver? Hopefully we get everything straightened out border-wise and we get, able to get things going on a normal 82-game schedule in that division. But yes, there'll be a lot of great rivalries that will be kindled, maybe. But there will be a lot of great things, and there will be. This is what I like, Rod. There will be 20-plus rivalries every time an individual goes back to wherever they came from. So whenever Dave Haxtell coaches against Toronto, most importantly, Philadelphia, that's great on him. His staff, the same thing. But every player, like the Golden Knights, the band of misfits, right? These players aren't necessarily cast aside, but there's a reason they are unprotected. And these guys don't forget that. So every time one of those players goes back to that city, we've got a big story on it. It would really be exciting.
Sergeant Pickle says, glad to have you, John. I hope you become as big an icon for Seattle as the late, great Dave Niehaus. So that's from Sergeant Pickles. And that Vancouver-Seattle rivalry, I think they're going to have the ambulance circling the rinks in both locations. I'm serious, John. Yes. From the Vancouver side, that's what I'm hearing from Vancouver. I don't know what it's going to be like in Seattle, but I'm sure they'll match it. But anyways, they're telling me I got to run. Always great. Enjoy the rest of the summer, my man. Thanks for the time.
Thank you. Thank you, Rob. Keep up the great work. Thanks for having me.
Thank you, buddy. The television voice of the Seattle Kraken. Let's get Kraken. John Forsland joining us from Raleigh, North Carolina. We'll be right back with a sports update. Moose will be back here. It is the RP Show, and you are watching on the Game Plus TV network, YouTube, and Facebook Live, and 24-hour sports radio for Suds Full Service Car Wash at rodpedersen.com.
Head to youtube.com/The Rod Pedersen Show now. You gotta subscribe. Click the subscribe button for all the content you may have missed.
Capital is Regina's trusted GMC Buick Cadillac dealership. Whether you're on the market for a new or certified pre-owned vehicle, we got you covered. And when it's time for service work, you can trust our factory-trained technicians who specialize in repairing any make or model. But don't take our word for it. Check out capitalgmc.ca to see how we roll and to learn what other customers are saying about working with us. Your dealership experience should be fun, easy, and transparent. And that's exactly what you'll get when you choose Capital GMC, Regina's trusted GMC Buick Cadillac dealership.
Comfort has always been something we, as people, strive for. It means that the places we live and work, and that the people we care most about, are able to go about their lives, focusing on the things that matter. Our focus at FlameTech has remained the same for more than 20 years. Now more than ever, we need each other to support our local businesses. As an industry leader in combustion services, we are proud to attend to the needs of our communities and support the local economy.
People donate blood for moments like this.
But there are lots of reasons why Canada's Lifeline needs donors every day.
Like the fact that someone with leukemia can need up to 8 units of blood a week.
Or that donated blood lasts no longer than 42 days.
Or to help new moms and babies, like Henry.
There's lots of reasons to donate blood. That's why we need donors every day.
The need for blood is constant. Join Toyota and our Toyota dealers in supporting Canada's Lifeline.
Some of the challenges we face with the CT technology that we have today is some of the deficiencies in around integration with some of our other systems. The addition of 2 new 4D simulators within the programming at the Saskatchewan Cancer Agency is going to have significant impact on the care we provide to the people of Saskatchewan.
Does this look familiar? Your fans deserve an incredible arena experience. It's time for an upgrade. Stunning graphics. Revenue opportunities are just the beginning with our in-venue display systems and scoring technology. Let us help you find the best solution for your facility. DDG, always delivering the best fan experience.
Red Squad, now you can join the team with your very own RP Show gear. Head to rodpedersenshop.com and get yours today while supplies last. It's just like we wear on the show, official RP Show gear at rodpedersenshop.com.
Oh, yeah, he's back. Time for more of the Rod Pedersen Show.
Welcome back, everybody. I'm going to fly through the sports update here because you already know what's going on. I'm just going to say it anyways, Darren. Make it 8 wins in a row for the American League. Shohei Ohtani pitched a perfect inning. Vladimir Guerrero and Mike Zunino both went deep. And the American League All-Stars beat the National League 5-2 at Coors Field on Tuesday night. Meanwhile, Vladdy Jr.'s performance last night made him the youngest All-Star MVP in history. That hot boy launched a shot 468 feet, the longest in All-Star home run history. Well, at least since they started tracking that with StatCast in 2015. So kudos, Vladdy Jr. The Phoenix Suns will visit the Milwaukee Bucks tonight with a 2-1 lead in the NBA Finals. Phoenix took the first two at home before Milwaukee responded with a 120-100 victory in Game 3. Giannis Antetokounmpo has put back-to-back 40-point outings and says his left knee's feeling even better following 2 days of rest between Games 3 and 4. I got it written down here. 7 p.m. Mountain tonight, Moose.
Okay.
Turns out that Kawhi Leonard's knee injury was a lot more serious than the Clippers originally announced. The All-Star forward has undergone surgery to repair a partial tear of his right ACL. Leonard first got hurt in Game 4, the team's second-round series against the Utah Jazz. Kawhi Leonard, top 3 all-time best Raptors, top 5.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. He's up
Not
there.
number 1, though.
Not my number 1.
This sports update for dubnetwork.ca, your number 1 source for Western Hockey League breaking news and analysis with the best team of writers across the Pacific Northwest and Western Canada. Visit today, dubnetwork.ca. And for Ben Cahoon's G2G protein bars, now with 8 amazing flavors, including the new almond mocha. RP Show viewers get 20% off with the promo code RP Show. Order yours today at g2gbars.ca. Speaking of breaking Western Hockey League news, were you able to find those, Clark? Okay, cool. We'll do this first. So breaking news out of Portland today. Portland, Oregon, where this show airs on Game Plus Television on the TDS cable carrier in Portland. The Winterhawks have come out with a new logo, and I understand, I guess, that they had to change it, but this is their new logo, the Portland Winterhawks, who have been in that market since 1977. I think we should face off on this. Clark is trying to find the old Tri-City Americans logo. And somebody actually texted this into the show here on the Prairie Mobile text line from the 960. Portland Winterhawks new logos. You can come back to me here, guys. Where is it? Portland Winterhawks new logo. It's almost identical to the old Tri-City Americans logo. Can you not find it, Clark? Maybe I got to go to my big board here. You're just trying to... Oh, but you see it. You just, if it's blurry, who cares? You don't even know what I'm talking about.
No, and that's why, because I haven't covered this league nearly as long as you have, I look at that Portland logo, and I don't know if we can see it again, but I think it's really badass.
You think it's fire?
I think it's great. I wish they hadn't changed it because I like the old ones better.
Yeah.
And I disagree that they maybe needed to change it, but that's just me. But for a new logo, I like it, and I like the little P with the Winterhawks established 1976.
But that's old. They've had that forever.
Right. I like that as an alternative.
Boy, do people go nuts about logos. And I get it. Clearly, we are too. From Randolph Zora in Ontario says it looks like the Eagles logo. From Chris Bird in Toronto, that's a solid logo. From Jordan Ewart, he says, as a kid, Portland was a team I always wanted to see because of their jerseys. Right?
Oh, yeah.
But not anymore. They've changed them, and I guess it was deemed offensive. I don't know. Clark, did you say that you have some more? Throw them up. He says he's got them. So these are the old Tri-City logos. All of them. See what I'm talking about?
Oh, yeah.
Just go through them.
Go.
Bird.
That one right there.
That's my fave, probably.
That's the one that's probably the closest. Yeah, that's probably the closest to the Portland one.
So Janelle in Saskatoon writes in, she says, I like it. I didn't say I didn't like it. I'm just saying it reminds me a heck of a lot of their top rival, the Tri-City Americans old logo. So I don't know. That would be like the Pats adopting the old Warriors logo. Sorry, That's our face-off, by the way, because we had to do one anyways. I'm giving a thumbs down to the new Portland logo. I'm sorry. Don't at me. I sense you're not.
I give it a thumbs up. I think it looks really sharp. I really do. And if I was around back then, I'd probably say it's a rip-off of the Tri-City Americans logo, and I wouldn't like it. But I'm not in the Pacific Northwest. I didn't watch the Tri-City Americans at that time. I like it. I give it a thumbs up.
Sure. You're going to go run out and buy your Portland Winterhawks
I am not.
merchandise? Yeah, exactly. The face-off's brought to you by the Mad Greek in Moose Jaw. Don't want to dine in? Takeout windows now open and delivery is available. Head to themadgreekeatery.com today. They're located on Main Street in Moose Jaw, Saskatchewan. And for the Ultimate Fan Zone, now shipping Canada-wide. Get official team gear right to your door. Visit ultimatefanzone.ca today. Overtime's next. Viewer takeover. Questions coming in from as far away as Mexico, and I'm going to get to yours, Armando. We'll be right back on Game Plus TV, YouTube, and Facebook Live, and 24-hour sports radio for Suds full-service car wash at rodpedersen.com.
Have you subscribed to the Rod Pedersen Show YouTube channel yet? Head to youtube.com/The Rod Pedersen Show now.
People donate blood for moments like this.
But there are lots of reasons why Canada's Lifeline needs donors every day.
Like the fact that someone with leukemia can need up to 8 units of blood a week.
Or that donated blood lasts no longer than 42 days.
Or to help new moms and babies, like Henry. There's lots of reasons to donate blood. That's why we need donors every day.
The need for blood is constant. Join Toyota and our Toyota dealers in supporting Canada's Lifeline.
Bronco Plumbing and Heating, proudly serving Regina and surrounding areas since 1978. We are excited to announce the new Bryant Furnace Trade-in Allowance Program. If you have a working Bryant furnace, 15 years old or less, you may be eligible to receive a new furnace at a discounted rate. If you'd like to take advantage of the Bryant Trade-in Program, or to hear how we can help improve your home, give us a call today at 306-781-2090.
We started Suds Car Wash in 2003.
There's a bit of us in every part of the business. I've been working here since I was about 10 years old. Hard to believe it's been 12 years since. Our parents always taught us about the importance of quality of work and friendly service. And here at Suds Car Wash, we're a family-run business, so it's really important that our customers feel like family.
From all of us at Suds Car Wash, we make your car shine.
At Capital GMC, we don't just sell vehicles, we buy them too. You know how we always have such a big inventory with an amazing selection? That's because we buy all makes, all models, and all years. We're going to give you the best price every time. And you don't even have to buy from us. All you have to do is visit us online or in-store, answer a few questions about your vehicle, and we'll get you a great offer. We'll even cut you a check on the same day. So save yourself the hassles of selling privately and sell it to us. Because at Capital GMC, we'll buy it.
Comfort has always been something we as people strive for. It means that the places we live and work, and that the people we care most about, are able to go about their lives focusing on the things that matter. Our focus at FlameTech has remained the same for more than 20 years. Now more than ever, we need each other to support our local businesses. As an industry leader in combustion services, we are proud to attend to the needs of our communities and support the local economy.
Here's how your business can be a part of Canada's fastest growing sports talk show. All you have to do is contact us, and we will tell you all about the dynamic and exciting marketing opportunities we have, utilizing a fully integrated 360-degree multi-platform. Imagine your business seen and heard across Canada on Game Plus TV and around the world on the Rod Pedersen Digital Network. You will use one of the most overused expressions in sports. You gotta be kidding me. Get your business involved. Contact the Rod Pedersen Show today.
You got something to say? You want to add to the show? What are you waiting for? Don't just sit there. Say something. Now, back to the studio with Rod.
Welcome back, and thanks for hanging with us, everybody, today. Hasn't it been spicy today? Today's show brought to you by the spicy habanero sauce at McDonald's. It is overtime. It's viewer takeover. We already got the face-off out of the way. And as I say, I got to give the Portland Winterhawks new logo a thumbs down. I'm sorry. Mostly because you and I just have to argue about something. That's the new logo. And as we just showed, if you don't mind, do you still have the Tri-City logos, Clark? If not, it's okay. You saw it. It just reminds me of the old Tri-City logos. I don't understand, but change is good, they say.
Yes.
Another was talking earlier. Sid Seixeiro was with us in hour one, talking about his move from the highly popular, long-running program on Rogers Sportsnet, Prime Time, Tim and Sid, to breakfast television in Toronto. And Sid and I work together at The Score. We're part of that huge group of Score alumni. Elliot Friedman. What did I say? Elliot? Everybody. So DG in Saskatoon writes in, and he says, "Morning, guys. What I remember most about your time at The Score, Roddy, is that you were the first Saskatchewan correspondent on a Canadian national sports network. Before that, it would be an Edmonton or Calgary or Winnipeg reporter coming in. It made Saskatchewan feel big time. That came about the same time as blackouts started being lifted for Riders games. Both led to the golden age in Saskatchewan." Signed DG in Saskatoon. And I'm thinking, I feel a little like Don Cherry when he said he came on this show and said he thinks people would forget about him. Thank you for remembering that, DG, and remembering that I was the first national correspondent on a national television network in this country a couple decades ago. And now, this is the first television program airing daily on national television out of this market. First ever. Should be headline news every day. And people are like, whatever. Around here.
I know.
I don't get it.
Right?
But whatevs. We'll just keep doing our thing. So, Armando, where was it? Can you guys find that question about Armando? We had a question about Vladdy. Here it is. How do you people in Canada feel towards Vladdy Jr.? Do you really consider him to represent Canada, or see him as a guy that somehow was born there but doesn't represent you? We see him as, okay, I'll speak for myself. I see him, I just started calling him Hot Boy today. I love Vladdy. I've loved him since he was fat. And now he's in shape. Youngest all-star ever. I just love him. How do I think about him? What, is he going to play for Canada? He hasn't yet. But he was born here. Doesn't speak English. Figure that one out.
Yeah.
How do I look at him? I look at him as Vladdy, a star of the Toronto Blue Jays. And if he wants to represent Canada internationally down the line, yeah, we'll take him. If he doesn't, that's fine too. I want him to succeed with the Toronto Blue Jays. And if he ends up doing that and he ends up in the Canadian Baseball Hall of Fame, that would be an appropriate place for him. Brady in Saskatoon is writing in saying that Vladdy needs to go to the Hall of Fame right now, Cooperstown. I'm like, stop it. Hasn't won a World Series, hasn't won a Gold Glove. And have you seen him? Probably won't. He's at the dish is where he's at home.
Yes.
Right? So Vladdy's Vladdy. Let him decide what he wants to do.
He's on track to being a Hall of Famer. He's on track, but again, very young into his career. He's got to go a long way to get there. And but there's no reason to think that he won't. And very proud of him. And, you know, it's funny. Anytime I see somebody having success with the Jays, or I watch that team, and, you know, I thought the same way about Carlos Delgado and Sean Green and Alex Rodriguez or Alex Gonzalez, sorry. And all these guys who played significant time with the Blue Jays and had success, Roy Halladay, I considered them Canadians. They played for Canada's team. So I thought of them as Canada's ball players, even if they weren't from here.
Well, Jeff in the Zone writes in on YouTube, and he says, do you guys think that Vladimir Guerrero Jr. will win the MVP this year? Let's just consider, as of last night, we're halfway through the season, the regular season. He's not leading the majors in home runs right now. Guess who is? Shohei Ohtani, who was the starting pitcher for the American League last night. It's Shohei Ohtani's award right now to lose. Correct?
That's right.
Brady in Saskatoon says, hey, Rod, on the bus on the way to work here in sunny and hot Saskatoon, Vladdy became the youngest Major League All-Star MVP last night. I'm predicting him being in the Pro Baseball Hall of Fame. It's a no-brainer. Brady's 19. He's just young. You don't understand. What else? John Ohm says Rod needs to take this show to XM Radio. Well, we've talked to them, right? They want it to be on their terms.
That's right.
Homie, don't play that game. From Tacona Pauli watching in Winnipeg. Rod, I don't recall you on this score, but my memory's not the best. Do you want me to send you a photo? Those were some great days. Randolph in Ontario says, remember Valenzuela's great MLB career? And he didn't speak English. Fernando Valenzuela. He used to. You wouldn't remember him. You're too young. He looked a little bit like Freddie Fender, the former country star. Fernando Valenzuela would, from his ankles, come back. And as he was pitching, he would look up almost like he was praying. Yeah, like, I'm like, how are you taking your eyes off the plate? Because a lot of guys...
Zero in.
Right. No. Do you people remember that? Tell me if you do. John in Winnipeg, you don't get into any Hall of Fame with 1 year of work. Not usually, no. Well, it's been a fun day today, as I said, spicy. Coming up tomorrow, Mitch Love, the new coach of the Stockton Heat of the American Hockey League, and also Damon Allen. Clark, were you reading my diary?
How about that?
Because I was exactly thinking we got to get DA on the show, and it's happening tomorrow.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, I can't wait. What else do you have to say?
He is so cool.
Damon?
And, oh, yeah.
Oh,
Damon Allen is literally the coolest guy, and I'm excited. And he's got a really good
Michael Lowley's watching in Los Angeles. He says, yes, old guy in L.A. remembers. He remembers! Darren Workman. Oh, you guys all start writing in now. See you tomorrow. Angering people is a gift of mine.